Time for another YouTube video. Alright, look up these wrestling results real quick. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Lucha Underground. I'm watching Star. Y'all can't hear it because it's coming through here. Because of... So Raw started with the Shield coming out. And Kurt Angle out there. Okay. So Kurt Angle's out there, the Shield came out, basically talking about how they're going to win their match at TLC, which is this Sunday. Which I'll do preview and predictions for that as well. So basically they say how they're going to win their match at TLC. Then the heels come out, Braun, Sheamus, and Cesaro, Miz. So basically Kurt's like, oh, don't fight now. You guys can fight later. So we're getting a tag team title match, Sheamus and Cesaro versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. And then we're getting a steel cage match, Braun versus Roman. So then we get Elias Sampson, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Jason Jordan, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews. And the winners are Jason Jordan, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews. Which basically, I don't know what that does for anyone. Like, yeah, they gotta win on Raw. But where they go from here? Backstage with Renee. Emma comes up, says how she's gonna beat Asuka. Alexa comes up, says how Emma, you're awesome. Because they're both heels, so they complement each other. Classic heel thing to do. What else happened? Oh, then we get basically the announcement that Mickie James and Bayley are gonna team up against Emma and Alexa Bliss. Then we get Cedric versus Jack Gallagher. Cedric wins. And then basically we get an announcement for the tag team cruiserweight match. So we're getting 2 cruiserweight matches on the show. Cruiserweight title match, Kalisto versus Enzo. And a cruiserweight tag match, Cedric and Rich Swann versus Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. Oh yeah, and Cedric winning. That was good. That was cool. I liked it. So then we get a Miz TV segment. Miz, Sheamus, Cesaro, Curtis Axel, and Braun Strowman all out there talking about how we're all great and yada yada. Then we get Sasha versus Alicia Fox. Sasha wins and continues directionlessness for Sasha Banks. And then we go backstage. Alicia Fox is attacking Sasha Banks, and they're gonna have another match at TLC. What do you do? Sasha's probably gonna win. Then we get Enzo talking about how he's a cruiserweight champ. Kalisto saying, or Enzo's not champ. Enzo's talking about how he wants to win the title. And Kalisto comes out and says, I'm going to win the Cruiserweight title at TLC, even though he's already Cruiserweight champion. Kalisto. Terrible promo. Good wrestler. Promo? Enzo's a good promo, but he's a bad wrestler. Then we get, basically heels come out to attack Kalisto. Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, Daivari, Noam Dar. They all attack Kalisto. Mustafa Ali comes in to make the save. And yeah, that's it. Then we get a Raw Tag Title match. Sheamus and Cesaro versus Dean and Seth. Dean and Seth retain, which is good because, you know, they're the Shield with Roman. So there you go. That's why that's good. And then we get a backstage segment with Braun, Sheamus and Cesaro, Curtis Axel, Miz. Miz comes in asking where's Curtis, because Curtis went off to go fight Roman Reigns for whatever stupid reason. And then we get Finn. We get Finn doing his promo, not a live promo. It's like cut-ins and cutouts of him in the demon paint and not in the demon paint. Basically saying how Sister Abigail should run. Then we get Emma and Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James and Bayley. Mickie James and Bayley win. And basically that gives Mickie James the credibility going into her title match at TLC. Which Mickey's probably going to lose at TLC. And then we get Roman versus Braun. Braun wins. And Kane is their 5th member. Here's the stipulation in this match was Roman wins, stays as 3-on-3. Braun wins, it becomes a 5-on-3. So Braun won, and now it's a 5-on-3 TLC match with Kane. Now on to SmackDown. Basically, SmackDown starts out with Daniel Bryan coming out. And then Daniel Bryan comes out, says how we're going to have a great show. Sami, Zayn, and Kevin come out. Basically saying how Daniel Bryan is the authority now, which is what he fought against during his whole career. But now he's the authority. And then Daniel Bryan walks off and says, Kevin says, where are you going? Bryan says, I'm going to go find 2 people to punch you in the face. And then, so our main event is Kevin and Sami versus Shinsuke and Randy Orton. And then, our first match of SmackDown is a 3-on-3 women's match. Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi versus Tamina, Lana, and Natalya. Lana's the only bad wrestler in the match. Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi win. Faces win to keep Charlotte strong going into whenever her title match is going to be. Because I don't know when it is. Down to Riverdale. Alright, so then we get a Fashion Files, which is basically Tyler Breeze and Fandango just doing comedy stupidity. So that was what it was. Not gonna go through it. It was stupid. Sin Cara versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's U.S. champion. Sin Cara wins via countout, which was surprising. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Then we get Renee Young backstage with the Usos. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin come up, basically saying how they're gonna win the tag titles whenever the tag title match happens. And then, yeah, that's it. And they fake out a handshake with the Usos. And we get Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. Not Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in a backstage segment. They're basically the Bludgeon Brothers, and they talk about, I don't know, something stupid. Then we get Jinder Mahal coming out, basically doing the stupidest thing you could ever do. Challenging Brock Lesnar to a match at Survivor Series, which, yes, I'm going to Survivor Series. Brock and Jinder is going to be terrible. So that's all I gotta say about that. Brock's gonna win. Early Survivor Series prediction for you. Then AJ comes out, basically says, you fought everybody except me, even though Jinder beat AJ in May. But we're not supposed to remember that. So we're gonna get AJ and Jinder at some point again. Which is cool, because AJ's a good wrestler. Jinder sucks. And we get Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler wins, which I guess 50-50 booking at its finest. Shout out to Vince McMahon. And Road. Oh, you didn't know? You're gonna lose, Bobby! Nice. Anyway, Aiden English backstage, Rusev backstage, New Day backstage. Basically, sets up a match for next week. Rusev and Aiden English versus the New Day. Shinsuke and Randy versus Kevin and Sammy. Kevin and Sammy win because Sammy does a low blow to Randy Orton and it does a haluva kick and pins him. Alright, 205 Live. Alright, Enzo comes out to kick off the show. Basically, praises the heels for beating up Kalisto. And then Enzo basically says how he's going to win the Cruiserweight title back. Then we get Jack Gallagher with Brian Kendrick as like a manager, not a competitor, against Cedric Alexander. Wait, not Cedric. Quick and review. It's versus Rich Swann. And Rich Swann wins via DQ because everybody interferes. And we get Drew Gulak basically saying how he's showing off his PowerPoint presentation. And he's talking about how he beat up Akira Tozawa last week. And then we get Kalisto and Mustafa Ali versus Enzo and Arya Daivari. And Kalisto and Mustafa win, which is good because you want to give your Cruiserweight champion wins on basically their show. Alright, a look up. freaking NXT results. Alright. So, probably one of the best matches of the week as far as WWE goes. One of the best female matches of the week. The best match of the week, probably the triple threat that happened at the end of the show as far as WWE is concerned. Not the triple threat, the tag match. So we get Enzo, the hell? The triple threat women's match. Ember Moon versus Ruby Riott versus Sonya Deville. Ember Moon, aka Afina from the Indies. Ruby Riott, Heidi Lovelace from the Indies. And Sonya Deville, Daria Peronato from Tough Enough from 2011. Let me tell you who wins in a second. I gotta fast forward to these commercials. And yeah, I'm watching Riverdale right now. I watch all the CW shows. Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. I could do a review on those, but let me know. Because I can look those up. Basically a synopsis of the episode. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Ember Moon wins. She hits the Eclipse on Sonya Deville and then pins Ruby Riott. So, Ember Moon is in the Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Houston. TakeOver War Games is actually the name of it. And why it's called TakeOver War Games is because they're having a War Games match, which is a match with 2 rings surrounded by a big cage. So there you go. Alistar Black versus Raul Mendoza. Raul Mendoza is a guy from the Cruiserweight division. Not this Cruiserweight division. Cruiserweight Classic people. So Alistar Black wins, which is good because we're building up his feud with Patrick Clark, aka Velveteen Dream. Then we get Kassius Ohno versus Cesar Bononi, which is a guy who beat Andrade Cien Almas his first NXT match. Well, the first time I saw him, that's what he did. He beat Andrade Cien Almas, who is now getting a title shot at NXT TakeOver War Games. That's going to be in Houston, Texas. Which I'm not going to. I'm going to Survivor Series, which is the night after. So anyway, Kassius Ohno wins. And this segment that happens next is basically Andrade, Dia Trinidad comes in, basically says how Andrade wants a title shot. It tells Drew McIntyre that Andrade wants a title shot, and Drew's like, not so many words, like, okay, I'll give it to him. Then we get Sanity versus Undisputed Era. Sanity, Killian Dane, Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Baby. I'm not going to do this because my hands go up too far. Baby. And then Red Dragon, which is Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. So Sanity wins, and that's the end of that match. Well, Sanity won via DQ because Undisputed Era came out and attacked everybody. Not Undisputed Era. Authors of Pain came out and attacked everybody. Alright, let me look up Lucha Underground results. Well, look at that. They got an article up on Fightful. Alright. So, Lucha Underground Ultimate Lucha Tres Part 4. Ultimate Lucha Tres Part Cuatro. Amigos. So we got Matanza versus Dragon Azteca Jr. So Matanza Cueto wins, and I don't know. It just really doesn't go anywhere from here. Matanza just wins, and then Black Lotus, who got her arm broke by Pentagon Dark in earlier in the season, and then came back and broke Pentagon's arm, and then left, and then showed up at Ultimate Lucha Tres. So then we get the Gauntlet of the Gold match. Not Gauntlet of the Gods. Jeremiah Crane, a.k.a. Sami Callihan, Cage, a.k.a. Brian Cage, and Mil Muertes, a.k.a. Jeff Cobb. And Mil Muertes wins, and then King Cuerno comes back, I should say, attacks Mil Muertes, and then he takes the gauntlet for himself. Johnny Mundo versus Prince Puma, Lucha Underground Championship, career versus title. Puma's career is on the line. Obviously, Johnny Mundo's title is on the line. Prince Puma wins, and then he's champion. Dario Cueto comes out and says, "Not so fast. You got another match. It's against Pentagon Dark, who has the Gift of the Gods Championship. Gift of the Gods Championship is basically like the Money in the Bank briefcase. Money in the Bank briefcase, you can cash in whenever you want, and get a title shot, or basically you have a title shot right then and there. Gift of the Gods, you had to wait a week." So Dario's explanation for it was Pentagon came to him last week and said, "Hey, I want to cash in my Gift of the Gods Championship on the Lucha Underground Championship." And basically Dario waits a week, but this being Ultimate Lucha Tres, he made an exception. So we got Pentagon Dark versus Prince Puma. Pentagon Dark wins, and this was a career versus career match, and the title was on the line. So Prince Puma's done with Lucha Underground, aka Ricochet. So Ricochet's gonna go to WWE now, but he's still gotta wait 3 months. So he can't go anywhere until 2018. He can't go to WWE until 2018. Then we get the ending cinematic, basically a whole bunch of shots. Daga is the king of Cobra Moon now. The gauntlet is locked in a glass case. Sexy Star signing autographs. And then she gets a box from a little girl that contains a star. The Rabbit Tribe doing something weird. Melissa and Phoenix riding off in the sunset together. Drago imprisoned by Cobra Moon. Vampiro says, Pentagon won the title, so what are you going to do now, Master? Basically, Vampiro's Master is going to come into the temple. If we get a season 4, Vampiro's Master is going to come into the temple and basically, I guess, win the title for himself. Matanza's still locked behind bars. Rey Mysterio pays him a visit. Dario Cueto basically dies at the end because he gets shot he gets shot by this guy. Oh, Gary Cueto called Prince Puma? Oh, wow. Didn't expect that. Alright. Well, that's everything.